computer vision to enable the instant listing and discovery of pre-loved goods anywhere on the web. We're not trying to compete with the big existing resale platforms. Instead, we provide an additional service to help streamline your resale experience. So to sell an item, simply take a photo. We'll analyze your item's condition as well as live market data to give you a resale value, and we'll then craft a listing which you can instantly post onto your chosen marketplace. We don't stop there. If you want to shop a product, take a photo, upload a screenshot, and we'll find you the same item or a similar alternative being sold secondhand on all the big resale platforms and from the independent retailers. This is the perfect time for us to really make a mark, with 70% of secondhand shoppers saying that they would use Jumble more than once a month in order to find low-cost and sustainable alternatives to fast fashion. So looking at the market, there's currently 23 million secondhand shoppers within the UK alone, but we've decided initially just to target Generation Z. They're buying and selling secondhand faster than anybody else, and my team knows them the best. Based on our marketing objectives, within the next 3 years, we can onboard 270,000 monthly active users and generate just over 18 million in revenue. Obviously, this user forecast isn't an easy feat, and we'll build this year on year, starting with 30,000 in year one, split across our freemium subscription model. We offer our free shopper plan for our everyday consumer, our reseller light plan for our casual resellers, and our pro plan for our more enterprise resellers who are shifting significant merchandise volumes year on year. During year one, we'll work at a customer acquisition cost of £4.96, and we'll generate just over 778k in revenue. So here you can see, it's a tiny bit slow, but a live demo of our current MVP, which we're releasing next month. We already have over 4,000 on our waiting list, but within 6 months, we're going to convert this to 10,000 monthly active users, and we'll generate just over 83k in revenue. So our go-to-market strategy is going to rely really heavily on creating a strong community of resellers. We're doing this by launching an ambassador program with the University of Bristol next month, but also working with one of the UK's top app marketing agencies, Favoured, who are going to be helping us with everything from creating awareness down to driving conversions on app. For launch, it's also really important to note that we'll be integrating with the big resale platforms from the get-go, so our users can shop and sell on all their favourite sites they already know and love. We've been building our organic socials for the last 3 months, and with zero ad spend, we've already achieved over 320,000 post views. And here, you can see some of the amazing feedback we've been getting for our users who are eager for our app to launch. When looking at how we're unique in the market, it's really important to look at the 3 core benefits we provide our users versus our competitors. We're the only tool on the market which allows you to find secondhand fashion across platforms from just an image. We're the only tool that gives you a resale price insight from a photo, and we're the only tool that's crafting AI product listings specifically for secondhand fashion. So I'm Olivia, the founder of Jumble, and I have experience working for big brands in the fashion industry, such as Christian Dior and Ralph Lauren, and I just got frustrated that they weren't doing enough to shift consumer mindsets away from buying new. Supporting me, I have an amazing team who have experience from small startups up to the C-suite at companies like HSBC. So we're currently raising 160k in order to take our product to market. We're planning to close this round at the end of the financial year. We'll then be launching a seed round at significantly higher valuation at the beginning of 2025 with a 70k monthly recurring revenue target. At the end of year one, we'll hit our 778k revenue target. The end of year two, we'll hit 4.5 mil in revenue, and the end of year three, we'll hit that 18 mil revenue target. So I hope you join us in our resale revolution, and I'd now like to answer any questions.
Thank you. What a lovely pitch. Thank you. I've got one question. It's not an area I know a huge amount about, but I do know that there are platforms out there that are all to do with renting things rather than reselling them, like Buy Rotation and Her, platforms like that. how does this interface with those? Do you see them as a threat or not?
No, not at all a threat. They, at the beginning, we want to integrate with the big resale platforms and independent vintage and secondhand retailers. But our consumer is often open to buying rental as well because of the sustainability benefits. So integrating with rental platforms in the future is definitely another avenue that we can go down. But at the beginning, we just want to focus on that secondhand niche.
Thank you.
It's Olivia Breakage, and my wife seems to spend half her life on their Depop, so I'll definitely recommend it here. So, the question for me is around your go-to-market strategy. Are you planning to work with people like Depop to push out your tool, or do you have other plans?
So rather than working with the big reseller, with the big platforms themselves, we've been building relationships with the big resellers. So the people who use Depop and have that existing audience, we've been getting them on board, and that's part of our ambassador program, is to have them promote us and return for us promoting their stores. So that's how we're getting reach that market.
Thanks. Wonderful promotion there. You know, dancing around stage, lots of things. Oh, it is. But I see these things on television. Is it Vinted one? I see, you know, when I'm watching old movies in the middle of the night. And they use something that you didn't mention, and that's the green economy, the value of recycling. Why didn't you mention that, your pitch?
I hate to say it, I think because it's slightly obvious, I'm always flipping between what angle to come at. There's a massive sustainability angle. You can save up to 5 kilograms of carbon by buying secondhand or selling. Yeah. But I think I just wanted to spin it from the commercial opportunity, and doing lots of customer research, they're mainly motivated by low cost alternatives, and sustainability is coming in second. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
So you're basing that answer on research.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Although you said a sample, so do you mind if I carry on, guys? And we've got time. We've got 2.5 minutes. We get 2 goes each. You said a sample of 70% or something. How big was that sample you took?
So that was only on 100 interviews.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think you need to prove out before the next round? The reason 160, now you mentioned there was another round taking place in the next 12 months.
Yeah. Why are we doing that round?
What are you needing to prove?
Yeah, of course. So I think what's really important for us is to get that monthly recurring revenue. Like, the environment right now for raising is really hard. Our product is obviously launching next month. We've got a lot of traction, but there's only so far we can get. We need that evidence to investors that we can do this, raise our higher valuation then.
And coming back to David's point about the sort of green agenda thing, I work as an advisor to the Cabinet Office, and one of the things that they talk about a lot is the social value agenda in government. And I mean, I'm not a politician at all, but I wonder whether you could get some government money for something like this, because I'm sure that there's a government website, for example, called Find a Grant, which is all about people who are doing things to help the green economy. So you might find that there's an opportunity to source, you know, some central government money to support the old journey.
Definitely, thank you.
1 minute to go. We can have a question from the audience. Please, Anne. Everyone, this is a very tight space. I realise that you are slightly differentiating in saying that you are selling to the other products, not the other platforms. The thing is, I see founders who all have experience at the front end. This business is going to succeed or fail with the back end. Who in your team has actually got real experience?
Yeah.
This is where startups in this space are really fun.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm a non-technical founder, and I think that is our area which I need to focus on the most and make really strong. So at the moment, our lead engineer, he is quite a sophisticated computer engineer, but again, is very young. So that's going to be our first hire when we have that funding, is to bring someone in-house. At the moment, we've been building on open source, but we want to build our own machine learning algorithm to make us more defensible going forward and build that computer vision tool, which is unique.
Okay, perfect, Thomas. Thank you very much. Next to join me on stage, we have Łukasz from Exera. Round of applause.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Łukasz Poliński. I'm a co-founder and a head designer at Exera Corp, new brand of revolutionary electric jet ski set to deliver the ultimate water sport experience. Exera is a product of passion and a result of many years of observation, where we noticed many limiting factors common across all current products on the market today. Also, the main driving force to manufacture electric jet skis is in fact the change in law regarding the restricted use of petrol-powered vessels across the globe. To solve this issue, we introduced electric drivetrain that provides quiet operation with no local emissions, compliance with the changing laws, ability to use and operate in quiet zones, improved stability due to the design of the electric drivetrain, additional 4 meters square of usable deck space, minimum maintenance required for drivetrain. We have shown our first working prototype at the Monaco Yacht Show in 2022. The response from the audience was incredible and it resulted in a number of leads to clients really interested in purchase. Special interest from yacht owners that also need to comply with Lloyd's registry regulations that talk about fuel-free garages on board of yachts. Quiet zone operators, many individual owners that are on the market for a small boat that can switch to a jet ski now. And also much interest from exclusive resorts and rental business. Our vision is to set a new standards in the jet ski industry. And we are aiming at bringing a revolutionary product to the market that can elevate the very perception of what the water sports experience can be. And we plan to do this through design, engineering, manufacturing electric jet skis, global direct supply, pioneering in sustainable technology, and a global stationary mobile maintenance service. Outstanding features of this units are the axe bar, wakeboard trunk, retractable windshield, back support system, and clip-on cooler, and last but not the least, what I do. Yeah, it's a retractable platform. It deploys from the back of from the stern of the vessel when you anchor, and provides powerful space for all our activities from sunbathing to fishing. So with 220 horsepower, mobility hours, 30 minute recharge time, and minimum required. This makes for very attractive business tool because it maximizes the yield for rental operators. The market size is about 1.6 billion. Pounds, the US now 960, and Europe is approximately 690. The market is expected to grow at the rate of 5.6% annually, with electric jet skis taking a larger share as the years goes by. When it comes to competitive analysis, only our brand and our unit has all of the listed features like electric propulsion, suspended seat, adjustable windshield, wakeboard trunk, retractable platform. Big players are still focused on producing the petrol-powered vessels. This is why this is a great opportunity to introduce a new progressive brand with revolutionary product and set new standards in the industry and establish first mover advantage. We plan to do this through launching the company, developing prototypes, building partner ecosystems, strategic alliances, capture the broader global attention, and become a market maker by 2029. The milestones achieved so far is the design and 3D molds and prototypes, electric drivetrain integration, hydrostatic and hydrodynamic testing, as well as international patents filed. Our 5-year production plan is to start with 100 units in 2025 and scale that up to 3,000 units by 2029, selling each ski at 60,000 pounds plus the 5,000 pounds for the platform as an option. We are asking for £5 million investment. We're offering 20% stake in the Xero company. We are EIS and SEIS qualified. The funds will go respectively to R&D production prototypes, facility and equipment setup. The largest part obviously will take the first production of 100 units, and then obviously marketing campaigns and exhibitions. We have a great team of talented individuals with 30 years of experience across the board in both building industry as well as finance. As in the summary, entire jet ski industry is undergoing the electrification process. This disruption creates an opportunity to introduce great, exciting product to the market. Xero is perfectly positioned to thrive in this environment and become a market maker. Thank you.
Thanks for the pitch. The product looks awesome.
Thank you.
The question I have is around manufacturing. I know you're lined up to kind of produce your first 100 units.
Right.
Do you have a manufacturing partner lined up, and what does that look like?
Yes, so at the moment we're still in the prototyping phases. This is why this is the capacity of our facilities right now, where we can develop prototypes and molding and various equipment. When it comes to actually setting up a first production line, we need to acquire a property premises to do this, and we plan to do it with this next round of investment.
Can I ask about performance of the jet ski?
Of course.
So, when you buy an electric car, for example, you have all these issues with range and all that
Right.
stuff. But on the other hand, it accelerates really quickly, right? So, is that the same with the jet ski? Is it like a lot more fun? Does it really?
Yeah,
Is it like spider jet?
up and go. Yeah, it picks up on the spot because the power is delivered straight from electric motor to the prop instantly without any delay. And the other very important factor that I didn't have a chance to mention within the last 5 minutes is the fact that we've designed the drivetrain in a way that it's placed horizontally right in the bottom of the hull. And what this does is it takes the center of gravity down to the bottom of the hull, thus improving the stability of the unit incredibly. The two of us can stand on one side and we're not going to flip it. And the other thing it does, it opens up the space inside of the hull that was unavailable before for all those features like the retractable platform and the wakeboard trunk and suspended seat and various others. So those features are only possible because we've designed the electric drivetrain in the way we did.
You're talking about making 100, and you want 5
In a furnished unit.
That's quite a lot of money. And the first thought that goes through my mind actually is Hoover and a vacuum cleaner. What is to stop somebody copying this?
We're going the national patents filed, and as far as patents protect, that's the security we have. But you know, unfortunately, the world we live in, anything can get copied, changed 15%.
You haven't made one, you haven't tested it.
No, we have. This is the working prototype.
This is the prototype.
Yes, working prototype. Yeah. Go through. And every feature on this unit is patented separately as a separate invention, because they are all just new features that were never possible on board of a jet ski before.
And you had this massive interest, you said, in 2022.
Yeah, the Monaco.
Have you got pre-orders?
Not as far as pre-orders, but we've got letters of intent from customers willing to purchase as soon as we've got them on the market. If I had 20 units ready at the show, I would have sold them on the spot. I just couldn't take people's money because we didn't have a product yet.
It sounds like you're raising quite a lot of money, and I think we can understand broadly why, but I think you said you were planning to use money to, acquire property, so you could manufacture.
Yeah, 1.5 million of that, these funds go into property and equipment.
Have you thought about outsourcing the manufacturing of the products, or sort of reduce?
We do. We take this as an option, obviously, and we plan to manufacture some of the units, some of the components elsewhere as a sub order, and then perhaps have the final assembly in one spot in our premises where we can release the finished product.
Just coming back to why someone would buy it. You said it was like, basically you said it was a really good jet ski. It accelerates really quickly and it's very stable. And but the cost, right? Can I just ask, how does the cost compare to a traditional jet ski?
Yeah, at the moment, the market price of it is pretty much double the price of a high-end Yamaha or Sea-Doo. But at the same time, you get much more of a equipment into when it comes to its features, its abilities, its performance, and the fact that it complies with the new laws is a really strong argument. And also it opens up a new market of all the quiet zones, like the lakes and the reservoirs, that are inaccessible for petrol-powered units at this point.
So, Tom, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have Vlad from Places App. How's it going? Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Yeah. So, hello, everyone. My name is Vlad. I'm from Places App, and today I'm going to talk about how we connect hidden food and drink businesses with the customers. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we started roughly 2.5 years ago. My co-founder, he has a network of restaurants and groceries and quite good connections in this industry. And we found that there is quite a bit of a problem that evolutionary restaurants have to use a lot of digital services. So they have to subscribe for delivery solutions, they have to subscribe for click and collect solution, for digital loyalty, for table reservations and so on. So we thought we can challenge this market, and we can create all-in-one solution currently targeting on SME food and drink businesses, restaurants, where we offer a single platform where they can onboard a digital menu, they can set up the delivery, click and collect solution, digital loyalty cards, they can basically collect all of the data in one place, so it's much easier for them to make decisions and how to move their business. We realized that it's a good opportunity for this solution to be a marketplace where we can also target consumers on another side. We looked on an existing flow, how it happens when you want to when you want to find a spot to eat. So basically you need to go maybe on Google Maps, you need to open TripAdvisor, randomly pick a few places, check the views, and it's really taking time, and then you come and it's you can find out that it's not following your diet, the place you selected. So we focus on our consumer journey on two main things. Number one is global filters, so where you can customize the app following your diet preferences. So for example, if you were vegan yesterday, obviously you're going to be vegan today. So you set up your app with the way you want, and another focus is explore functionality, where we target not only businesses we work with, but we aggregate all of the businesses around, and we help to find the right spot in just a few seconds. So we have quite a few revenue streams. This business model allows us to do that. Number one is obviously transaction fees, where we charge restaurants based on type of transaction, if it's delivery, click and collect, POS solution. We also have a freemium model for restaurants where they get features for free in the beginning, but if they want to enhance, they will pay premium functionality per month, and few revenue stream coming soon. The competitive landscape is quite big. You might be familiar with some of the solutions. So we're competing with discovery, delivery, pickup, loyalty, point of sale solutions. But we have very unique positioning following small medium businesses where we have few partners already who fully rely on us. They can run their click and collect delivery point of sale solution, and they don't need any other service. UK market size allows us to work on this market. So there's more than 125,000 restaurants in the UK itself. And we started already in London. London itself also has almost 20,000 restaurants, which is a really good market, and it's a very dynamic market, changes very often. We already launched in United Kingdom last summer, and we in parallel we actually literally last month we launched in Saudi Arabia. So we already got quite good traction. So since last summer, we managed to secure from 10 to 15 businesses per month, reaching 70 businesses by now. And we hitting almost more than 2,000 active users, customers who purchase things from our businesses. A bit about the team. Myself, I have a tech background. I launched a couple of products before. My co-founder, as I mentioned, he has very good connections, and he has his own grocery and restaurants. That's where and more than 40 years of business experience. And the rest of the team, it's almost 16 people working on the product, and we have London itself. We have 12 people dedicated to Places app. So we currently our main focus so far is we're launching delivery, which we're testing literally today. We had a few deliveries tested. We're launching it next month for all of our partners, existing partners. And next big step for the next few months will be Consumer 2.0, which I mentioned before, as well as integration with other solutions. So what we need 4 million. It's mostly for scaling our team and scaling the market, and R&D for going outside of the UK and Saudi. We are SEIS, EIS eligible, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You can download the app now to try yourself. We're launching Consumer 2.0 very soon, the next month, so keep updated. There's promo code to use the app for pitch. So yeah, any questions, please?
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Vlad. 4 million came on the screen. Did I miss it? Because I'm at a funny angle. What percentage is that? What's your valuation?
Well,
question.
we are seed round, so we were bootstrapped, so it's hard to say exact valuation, but we were in from 20 to 25 mil. So we want 4 million in return for 15 to 20% equity.
Okay.
Yeah.
As Matt said at the beginning, I've got a knowledge. Okay, it predates the delivery world as it is today. I've got a knowledge of the hospitality industry. In fact, one point we did delivery on rolls. We delivered with a Rolls Royce to people's houses, and we would put it in the car, you know, the cellophane thing, and take it round, and silver bowl, bang on the door, making sure all the neighbours saw it, and it worked. What would make me add that to all the others that are already out there? Why would I pick you?
Well, we don't really position ourselves as like delivery itself a big competitor, because we help customers. We simplify their journey, basically having everything in one place, starting with the exploration journey. So I wouldn't say that like delivery itself, the current flow is going to differ a lot from existing players on the market, but I would say it's all about the positioning ourselves on the market, where we don't really compete with delivery, but we work together with delivery.
The principle is saying, why are you instead of the people I'm using now?
Well, because we offer a suite of functionality where for example, deliveries these days are expensive, so you have to restaurants pay almost 40% for delivery. and people have to pay like up to £4, £5, £6, depends on the range. And us, we offer click and collect functionality where or collecting your loyalty points and the cashback, which will basically, if you can't really spend a lot of money, you easily can see the difference in prices and all of that.
So whenever I go abroad, I will check TripAdvisor, and do so religiously to try and find a restaurant, that will make everyone happy. One of the key features they have is the user ratings, and I'll always look at those and not just the good ones, to try and find the bad ones.
Yeah.
Because that tells a lot about the establishment. I mean, do you have a similar feature? How would I know if one of the restaurants on your platform is any good independently?
Yeah, so obviously, since we are growing the audience right now, we can't have our own ratings. So that's why, like I mentioned, we not only show the businesses we work with, we aggregate, we use sources from TripAdvisor, from Google Maps, from Yelp, where we take ratings and we clearly say where is this rating coming from, as well as reviews. So we're launching like literally in a month's time this consumer new version where you have TikTok style list of restaurants with reviews and rating as a centric for discovery phase.
I have a question on pricing. So food is a low margin business generally. I mean, you only have to look at how many restaurants go out of business, right? So, so what I think you're doing is you're inserting yourself between people who want food and people who supply food, and you're providing a service. But that obviously needs to be paid for, because otherwise you don't make any money. And you obviously got a great product, but my concern with this is, this is like a whole low margin industry, and is this just going to sort of cannibalize margins even more for other people? And people are very price sensitive when it comes to food. So could you just say a little bit about that? And do you actually think there's a real possibility that this will take off? Because I wonder that it's solving a problem that that maybe doesn't need to be solved.
Yeah, it's a good question, because almost every single business we come, they complain about 30 to 40% cut from Deliveroo, Uber Eats. And that's again coming back to our other range of functionalities, click and collect, and which will allow businesses to promote, go outside, walk a little bit, and you will save money and your customer will save money. So we're trying to challenge the market with this unique approach, but obviously it's on one way, and on another way is connecting, your businesses don't have to spend money on different services. They focus on one service. They don't care about anything else, which also saving money. But yeah, pretty much.
And I have one other question. I'll just speak, because I find it easier to
Yeah.
speak. Saudi Arabia, why Saudi Arabia?
Good question.
Yeah.
It would be very obvious knowing that my co-founder is from Saudi Arabia. So he knows the market perfectly, and it's very, like today, like this year and like this decade is very good for starting a business there, because they do through transformations and they have different things happening.
Okay.
So yeah.
So local knowledge.
Local knowledge, yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We now have a special bonus pitch for you this evening. This company's actually disqualified themselves from this evening's competition by bribing the judges and everyone else in the room. If you've been enjoying Tidal Rum this evening, I'm going to invite their founder and creator, Harry, up on stage to talk to you a little bit about them for just a couple of minutes. Thanks.
Great, thank you. So I'm going to give you a brief introduction as to Tidal Rum, which you will be enjoying in the cocktails, I hope. Tidal is a golden age rum infused with peppered or seaweed that we forage in Jersey and the Channel Islands. It was born from a love of both rum and the coast, and a counterpoint to the sort of overly sweetened, overly piratey rums that you might represent with the sort of end of the night that dominate the market. So it's a refined rum from Jersey, where we have the third widest tidal range in the world, which essentially trebles the island size at low tide, opening up a kind of underwater rainforest from where we get the pepperdols. So I put in a few highlights of our business to date since launching in summer 2019, where we launched a big festival in Jersey to Lewis Capaldi singing on his sort of prime year. Since then, we're stocked across most of the major wholesalers in the UK and about 400 to 500 different bars and restaurants through the whole country. That didn't go unnoticed, and we kind of got the attention of the major press, major television channels. We've been on Saturday Kitchen a lot of times, and that gathered the interest from Carnival, one of the biggest global travel retail companies and travel companies in the world. They were pitching for a rum partner on a global scale, and we ended up winning that competition, that tender, and in 2022 created the first rum distilled at sea by building a distillery on board their flagship ship, Arvia. So that's been great fun. And right now, people around the world are enjoying tidal at sea. We've since got into all the airports, so we're in Heathrow, Gatwick, Stansted, and tidal's truly travelling. Our next step is to go for export, so we just sent our first pallet to Europe, and we've got good partners in place. So these are just some highlights. We've got a great audience of sort of 40,000 people who are engaged in the product, and that's just some of the amazing partnerships we've done to date. We launched the Spectre, the first electric Rolls-Royce, and in Christmas we did a big partnership with British Airways across their lounges. The rum market is already large within the UK, and we sit at the kind of premium side. So our USP, British Coastal Botanicals, are the best rums in the world. Gives us confidence that we're leading the way in that kind of premiumization of the category. So we're raising £500,000 at a 5.5 valuation to invest in the distribution partners we have already, and beyond across Europe. So last year across the airports, we sampled 25,000 samples to holidaymakers. People loved it, sales were good. Our next step is to roll out the tidal range and really lead that category as the UK's premium rum of choice. So we're around to talk, and if anyone wants to know any more, we're also topping up on cedars once we close the round. We're about halfway completed in the round, so keen to discuss. But yeah, enjoy some more cocktails as you go.
Thanks so much.
Can I just, it might be dangerous to put rum on here now because it would make the two halves imbalanced. But could we have a jug of water, please?
Well, thanks so much, Harry. Now please welcome on the stage our next SEIS eligible pitcher, got Pietro from Tuco. Round of applause, please. Come on.
It's not working. So, well, it's going on by itself. Okay, so my name is Pietro Bonavita. I'm the CEO and founder of Tuco. And we're keeping with the nautical thing, and we're talking about a very big problem for the water economy, biofouling. Biofouling is this line that puts on the undersea, on the other side of ships and yachts, if you know what it is. It's an old problem. It's been with humanity for as long as humanity has been at sea. It causes a lot of problems for seafarers because it increases fuel drag, which means an increase in fuel consumption, an increase in emission, an increase in maneuverability. It causes fuel decay, it causes biological reshedding, and increases species diffusion risk. So it's a huge problem for the shipping, for the yachting industry. Up to recently, the solutions were all the solutions. Since the dawn of time, we've been making anti-fouling coats, so since the dawn of time, we've been scraping the stuff up off the yachts. But this is expensive, it's risky for the personnel involved, it's polluting, it's time consuming. So we thought, we have a lot of new technologies at hand. We got AI and machine learning autonomous navigation algorithms that we can use. We got advanced sensor technology. I mean, the kind of stuff that used to be on cruise missiles now is vacuum cleaners. So we got underwater robotics. This is This is all off the shelf. This is all off the shelf components. So it's something you can buy off a supplier. We got IoT protocols for communication, and we got LED tech applied to UVC radiation, which is what we use to annihilate, to kill off the first stage of biopharma, which is biofilm, the unicellular stage. So what happens? You have a Roomba-like experience. The ship goes into the harbor, stops. The UV activates. It goes around and autonomously skins and irradiates the hull, and then goes back to the base to recharge. And then again, the next stop. Roomba-like, minimal human intervention, no contact with the hull. This is a key aspect that we're going to discuss later. Some of you know the market, but I'm thinking right now, but there are a lot of other robots in the market that do this kind of stuff. But all these robots, they do contact with the hull. They all use mechanical means of cleaning. This mechanical means that they cannot reach difficult spots, like the propellers, like the rudders, the other three-dimensionally challenging parts of the hull. They produce debris. Actually, debris from anti-fouling is the biggest source of chemical pollution in coastal water, as it is already metal shedding. By not touching the hull, we don't wear the hull. And then we are not capable of working on the ship navigating yet, but we can work in harbor, because as we produce no debris, we are not subject to the normal environmental regulations. So we don't produce debris, we don't have to care about the debris. So if you use Tuco, you'll have a hull that's always clean. That means better fuel efficiency, faster travel speed, drastically reduced emission, no debris of any kind, no biological contamination, improve aesthetics, which is important if you have like a super yacht and you want it like nice and shiny. And then you have a reduced maintenance downtime. The team is made up of all experienced professionals. We have all of us have at least a decade experience on our respective fields. We can talk more about this in the Q&A if you want. The market, as you can see, is a huge market. I mean, the TAM is 400 billion, of which we think the SAM is 100 billion because it's the direct cost. That 400 billion is the total cost, like the direct cost of the industry plus the environmental cost. The SOM in this is 20 billion. We the size of the numbers of the customers are more than 30 million commercial, naval, and recreational vessels, plus 30,000 harbors and marinas, which we think are going to be our biggest customers. To them, we offer efficiency, reduction in downtime, reduction in emission, pollution, and biocontamination. We think we can be able to achieve 100 million GBP by the end of the year. The business model is going to be one of leasing subscription. You might think of cleaning as a service. This is important. Why? Because it allows us to keep the ownership of the systems, which means that we can always improve on them. That's going to be a big part of our proposition, that we're going to improve the efficiency of the system over time. But most of all, we're going to keep ownership of the data stream. That sensor pod is going to collect an awful lot of data, and that's going to be important. I'm going to try to wrap up the state of the art. We are currently fundraising for the seed round. The prototype is ready to be built and tested. SEIS, we work on it. The legal person should have been here tonight, but we got COVID, very old-fashioned. We're in negotiation with the Maltese government for the R&D facility down there with the government support. We do have a business R&D and R&D real estate option already available. TTM submitted 18 months. We're fundraising 1.5 million plus, which is going to be all going to R&D basically. So if you want to put some glue into London Stack, then we just put in with Tuco.
It's a fascinating presentation, and I didn't realize the problem is quite as acute.
Yeah,
The question I have is, how often does a vessel require this cleaning? Can you give us
First of all, there's a big number that I didn't have the top of the presentation. The biofouling can increase the fuel can decrease the fuel efficiency of the ship as much as 40%. If you think about a big ship like the LCC, a very large crude carrier, we're talking about like 30, 40 tons a day of increase in it. So that's a huge number. And what was the question again?
Yeah, for a typical vessel, you know.
Okay, the offer. Okay, that depends on the method. If you traditionally you would do that every once in a month, maybe in a couple of months, maybe it depends on the sea, depends on the temperature level, depends on a lot of factors. With that system, which is not going to be ideal for all use cases, but we think it does improve a lot. Then we're going to use it as often as we can. Normally, a cargo ship in the Mediterranean will stop at least once every 3-4 days. So if you can do it once a week or once every 2 weeks, that would be ideal for us.
Do you see the large ships, like cargo ships, liners, as the main customers, or because there's many different types of shipping, right? There's small pleasure boats, 30-foot boats, there's super yachts. Is your main target big commercial shipping?
Well, at the beginning, we're going to be working mainly, I think, with super yacht owners.
Right.
Because that's a prestige buying, and they're going to buy the stuff as a toy, and because they want the toy to be nice and shiny. Okay. So, I mean, if you got 20 million in Paris, you want it to look as good as you can.
Yeah.
But for the smaller vessels, I mean, these are markets which has got a lot of gatekeepers. So we're going to be talking with the big navigation companies, we're going to be talking with the harbor authorities, and we're going to be talking with the marinas. So the smaller boats are going to be serviced by the marinas. The mid-sized boats are going to be serviced by the harbor authorities, and the bigger companies, hopefully, we're going to buy a product themselves, and then we're going to deal with them ourselves. So we think that the early adopters will be the super yacht owners, but eventually we'll evolve to service the rest of the market. Of course, servicing a 300 meters cargo ship is more complicated, but we are already working on the program that controls the swarm. We're going to use a swarm of drones to go above the hull. It is too big.
I'm very interested in this because I actually invested in 2 drone businesses. They're air drones, not underwater drones, but same idea, right? So how long would it take a drone swarm clean a large vessel?
We need to do it in a day, in 1 night.
1 night, okay.
That's the question that we need to solve. I mean, our entire work is a work of fine tuning. We know that the science works, but we have to tune it to a point where we know it works in the terms that we need.
Okay.
So we need to have the drone that emits as much radiation as is necessary to complete the job in 1 night. Because that's the limit of the ability.
Fascinating presentation, and I follow on from Hugh's question because I live on Weymouth Harbour, and every February they haul the boats out of the water and put them on cradles, and we lose half the car park on the harbour. Well, that's the way it goes, and they're all back in by Easter. I don't see you ever appealing to those guys. It's like they're a lot. They love being out there with their hose and their scrubbing brush. It's part of the fun, if it is fun, of owning a boat. But I can see it appealing, and you said 30,000 harbours in this country.
That's worldwide.
Oh, worldwide. I was just going to question the number a bit, but worldwide, my mistake. I can see it appealing to them as offering it as a service. But I'm guessing, following on from what you said, you're talking about commercial market. That's where the money is.
Yes and no. Again, I think that at the beginning we're going to be more interesting for the recreational business.
Okay, but
in those terms.
Yeah, but that's where. So if that's the case, where do you see your exit from this if it works?
It's likely going to be both of by some big navigation company, by some big shipping company. Because now, contrary to what we thought at the beginning, we thought the interest would be more financial because the cost of all the cost saving and all that. When we actually confronted with the industry, we found out that they're much more interested in the environmental part. So because there's a really big push for net zero and the biological contamination and all that. So I think there's going to be one of the big players who's going to make a move, either directly or for one of the investment funds. In fact, we haven't talked about that with them. But they told us that it's too early for the size that they go for.
Thank you very much. Next up on stage, we have Michael from Emisio. Emisio, sorry. Hello, hello.
So, I can change here, or should be able to click stop on the tap in, tap out.
So hi everyone, I'm Michael Coppola, I'm CEO and co-founder of Immerso. And I'm excited and a little bit tense as well. So I want to give you a quick introduction about myself. I've been working in advertising and marketing the last 10 years and working closely with branded agency. We have identified different problems that brands are facing. Here. Yeah. And our so next slide. No, it's not showing. Okay, yeah, we identify different problems that brands are facing when creating immersive campaign. One is the increase of user privacy control are required brands to leverage immersive, to leverage influencer and creator. Also, brands have different challenges in navigating and understanding the complexity of immersive marketing. And finally, the current creator and influencer platform, they do not integrate with immersive analytics. And this was the catalyst of creating Immerso. So Immerso is the first immersive creator marketing platform that connect brands with creators for in-game ads, in-game product placement, AR and VR content. How our platform works, there is different ways. One of the main ways is to connect brands by connecting them through project ideas with the right creator for that creation, and or through a pool of creators that and filter them in base of the content they create. The last more exciting part is that we are working with AI to create brand ideas, brand and campaign ideas, leveraging a pool of creators and the brand objective. When the content and campaign is created, the platform will track the engagement with the assets within the platform. So basically, here it's missing a part, but yeah. So basically, the platform is managing all the creator marketing all within the platform, from a campaign ideas to the payment system. Here we showing all the. But the revenue model, we have free revenue model, so that allow us to create a scalable product. So free subscription base that allow us to target different brands and agency. The TAM opportunity can be calculated in different ways. In this case, we have calculated the 1% of 500,000 global marketing agency, and this will take us up or 5 million in the next couple of years, and this is what we are aiming to capture. We have built an MVP, one successful case studies, 100,000 creator on our database, 200 creator on our waiting list, and the 5-letter intent from companies like Catalyst Creatives, Exarta, and Measurebit Innovation. Our case study that we built with the Fit is a fitness app, has the Fit has integrated this branded asset within Roblox platform. And it's been really successful because it has showed a really high engagement rate that no any channels at the moment show this kind of engagement rate. And yeah, the team is composed mainly by myself and my co-founder Kai, with over 20 years experience in software development. And we also working with a pool of advisor and freelancer to help us to refine and grow. We are now looking to raise £300,000 in pre-seed investment and also brand partnership. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'm happy to answer any question.
Thank you, Michael. You said at the beginning you were excited and you were tense. What makes you sparkle? What makes you sparkle? Come alive.
Laughing.
Laughing. Because I'm wondering what drove you to create this? Why did you do it? Where's the passion? Some of the others
we've been working 10 years, we brand an agency, so this is why I always try to try passionate about finding new way of communicating through brands, and this is what takes me to building immersive as well. And also there is also a part of helping creators to monetize their content, and also brands to grow within this platform.
So what's the passion behind a commercial game? Making money.
Yes.
That's also, but it's not that you saw this helping society or improving life. This were you just doing it to make money.
No, make money. Also, as I told you, is also there is the social part, because we are helping creators to monetize through our platform. Yeah. And also because we connect them with brands, so that is also the aim of the platform.
Thanks for the presentation, Michael. I'm interested in the analytics that you're providing. And I think in the case study, you showed that uptick in engagement. Yeah. So basically, at the moment we are using the API of the different platform, but we will want to build a custom SDK. Yeah, that was going to be my question. Are the analytics proprietary? Have to develop some smart AI?
No, at the moment, no, but we aiming to do that as well. Yeah. At the moment, we are just using the API of the other platform and track the engagement through that.
How much segmentation have you done? I mean, there's a million different types of creators. There's a million different types of brands.
Yeah.
Are you targeting every type of brand?
No, we are targeting.
Or do you have like sectors?
Yeah, 3D creator, creator that has already a pool of players. So independent game creator are one of the biggest target for the creator. And but as we grow, we wanna add. There is a possibility to add a lot of different creator within the platform. So our main is the immersive creator, so a creator that create VR, AR content. As we grow, we also want to target different, but always staying that kind of immersive creator.
I mean, and just to unpick that a bit more in terms of the brands.
Yeah.
Are you targeting like large multinational businesses or smaller SMEs or
no small business at this stage? No, but more like mid to big companies. Yeah. So agency, marketing agency, and brands with the internal marketing department.
Okay. Thank you.
We've got a minute and a half left. Well done.
Thank you.
You're looking for 300,000.
Yeah.
What do we get for that? And where do you see the exit? How do you get out of it for how much more?
We are looking to we are looking to exit in the next 3 years. With I mean, we aiming to go on a seed round early next year. So and from there continue grow, and in the next 3 years, have an opportunity to exit.
So what do we get for the 300,000?
300,000 is 25%.
Mike, what's your ambition for the business? You know, fast forward 5 years, where do you want to take it?
Yeah. Yeah, as I think the service of addressable market, it was a good good target for us. So around 200 clients the next couple of years. Yeah.
30 seconds to go, unless there's anything further from the judges. No? That's brilliant. Thank you very much. Next to join us on stage, our final pitch of the evening, we have the Jack from Garst.
Hello everyone, my name is Jack Zuliani, and thank you so much for having me today. I'm the co-founder of GARMS. We're going to start today with a little exercise. So if you can everyone put their hand up for me, please? So if you're a guy, think about yourself when I ask these questions. If you're a girl, think about a man that you know very well. So first of all, keep your hand up if you don't particularly enjoy clothes shopping. So hand up if you don't particularly enjoy, or they don't particularly enjoy clothes shopping. So quite a few guys still with a hand up in the air. And keep your hand in the air if you take pride of your appearance, if you still care about what you look like. Got a few laughs, great. So so there's a lot of the room with their hands in the air. So I can see a problem there. So a lot of men aspire to dress well, yet struggle with a lack of time, money, and confidence to enjoy the process. What's the GARMP solution? Convenient, curated, and cost-effective fashion rental. And what do I mean by that? So what do I mean by that is you fill out your online personal styling questionnaire. You tell us what brands, colors, styles, the sort of thing you like. That gets fed into our AI personal styling algorithm, and we send you out a shared wardrobe to wear for your rental period. At the end of the rental period, you tell us what you thought of those clothes that we sent you, and the feedback gets constantly fed into our AI recommender. Also, at the end of the month, if you really like the clothes you got, you can buy them for much less than the RRP because we work directly with our brands. There are enough clothes on the planet right now to dress the next 6 generations of the human race. Access over ownership, especially in the clothing sector, makes a huge amount of sense. For the last 12 months, we've been iterating our initial MVP, which is a horizontal 4-shirt rental package, curated rental package. We've rented out over 2,000 shirts with an impressive 75% month-on-month customer retention. For the next 12 months, we're going to be focusing on our B2B proposition, which is reflected in our forecast, which I'll touch on later in the presentation. The menswear market is worth 15.4 billion, and our ICP is young professionals in London, which is about 4% of that. The clothing rental market is worth 142 million, but mainly in the women's wear and children's wear space, and growing really, really fast. So how are we going to access that big market? We're going to work with our brands to offer a brand-specific rental bundle. So how that would work is on their website, you click through a link onto the GARMP's curated rental product marketplace. The benefits for the brands: increased customer retention, lower customer acquisition cost, and finally, actually drive more revenue from each garment. If you rent for if a garment rents for over 12 months, you can actually drive 2.5 times the amount of revenue from an individual garment. In terms of our our competitor landscape, we've split into 4 quadrants. In the top left-hand side, we have event rental, so mainly in the women's wear space, which is the kind of clothing rental you may have seen already. In the bottom left-hand side is your traditional linear retail, and in the bottom right-hand side is the linear personal styling, so the Stitch Fixes of this world. In the top right-hand side is GARMPS, which is the blue sky, which allows you to develop your style, but without the commitment necessarily to have to purchase. We're a sibling-founded team, so myself and my sister founded the business She has experience in fashion and digital marketing at companies such as VF and Puma. My expertise is in data science and commercial sales within startups. And then we have an amazing group of investors as well who have experience at companies like Yahoo and mentoring at Techstars with multiple exits between them. We're raising 200K SEIS, which is to build the Gantt curated product rental product marketplace. This will include making sure we have a smooth onboarding process for all of our brands to make it super easy for them, a very convenient proposition for our customers, and finally, to push money into our joint marketing campaigns with our brands to push customers into our rental product marketplace. I'm going to leave one of our customer reviews on the screen from Trustpilot. I promise I didn't pay them. And yeah, my details on the bottom of the screen. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to some questions.
Thanks, Jack. I'm interested to know more about the logistics and whether you handle that. For example, do you ensure the clothes that go out are clean?
It's a great question, especially in the menswear space, because I think a lot of men are or especially a lot of older men are much harder to convince because the perception around secondhand is actually that you're wearing someone else's clothes. And if something came to you dirty or missing a button or a bit of worn, actually that would completely put you off. So yeah, we work with the #1 circular fulfillment provider in the country. They're super scalable, very impressive. Yeah, everything comes to you as new. We have incredibly high standards as well that we work with them to deliver.
Very interesting, thank you. Not an area I know a lot about, but actually last week I was talking to Ashita Kabra from By Rotation about the female version of this. And one thing that strikes me with it is how do you get over the sort of differences between men and women? Because women tend to be quite okay with sharing clothes. Often they have sisters, they share things, whereas it's not really something most men do. And I think there's an element of having to get over a bit of a psychological barrier there, which clearly you have done with some of your customers. But I mean, do you think that's an issue? Because it's not sort of inbred. Like I would never share my brother's clothes, I just never would. But I know sisters that do that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's a really good question, and I think it's kind of why our kind of ICP is younger people, because I think to get people over that hurdle definitely is much easier. I think really, yeah, it's just that kind of perception change really, and I think as we go forward and as the kind of population continues growing exponentially, I think people will be more and more inclined, especially kind of cost-wise, to give it a go. Because as well as being a kind of sustainable option, so that might be a draw for some people, especially if they have more money. Actually, the cost effectiveness is actually a huge draw as well, because it gives you access to be able to wear clothes that you might not have ordinarily been able to afford before.
And your phrase access, not ownership, was exactly the same phrase she used.
Yeah.
So it's obviously quite a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, fascinating. I've got just one other question, which I'll just get in now. Do you see the development of a secondary market for people that are renting? Are you suddenly going to get people who are like eBayers, same sort of idea where they're actually making an income from just buying really cool clothes, renting them out to other guys? So
that's a really interesting question between the menswear and women's wear space, I think, because from the initial research that we've done is, especially in there's loads of examples of peer-to-peer rental in the women's wear space, and it's doing really well. It's making people a lot of money. I think guys just don't care that much about that side. So actually giving them the opportunity to make money from something and having to go to the post office and having to do all the washing, actually the convenience aspect of it just isn't there. And I think from our initial kind of viewpoint, maybe 10 years down the line, I may be saying something completely different because the perception of the market has completely changed. But right now, guys just don't care enough. And actually what they want is something really easy, really convenient, and something that, they can look good without really thinking about it. So yeah, I think it's cool.
It's a fascinating concept. When I got here earlier, Andrew came up to me and said, "You look like a 1982 Tory candidate." He's used that before. And your question, my hand stayed up all the way through. And you also mentioned about sort of replacing the wife. Well, I've had 3 of those, so I don't think I'm going to. Maybe you'd be better at it. But it's a cultural thing that when I was young, okay, maybe because I was skinned, but I wouldn't very often wear a DJ. But when I did, I went and hired it. Perfectly normal thing to do. Then of course I bought one. And if you're going to weddings, you might go and hire a morning suit or like that. And so we're into the psyche, but in this tiny way, you're trying to bring a huge cultural change here. The question I ask, and it's interesting the comment on ladies. You mentioned shirts. Yeah, actually, you could get me thinking, well, I'll have a trendy suit out next time. But am I really going to go and wear other people's shirts? But then on the other hand, I wear them, I send them to the laundry, they come back, they all nice with a little red tie, and then, so is that how you're going to present them to me? How are you going to overcome that skin feel? I like this.
Thank you. So in terms of the question, so it's kind of similar-ish to the question that you asked about kind of the perception of secondhand. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we, as I kind of mentioned, what the fulfillment provider that we work with, everything is, yeah, and like amazingly cleaned. Everything comes to you as new. And that's something we focused a whole lot on, because for men, it's such a big barrier. If we get a customer that comes to us on the first month and we send them something which actually is missing a button, we lost that customer. So making sure that everything is as new, and then once it's not as new anymore, we have avenues that we can send it down to make sure that either it's resold or recycled or upcycled. Like, there's so many different avenues. It's just making sure that
you can talk to a little.
We're already talking. Yeah.
Sure, love the stuff for you. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Super quick from Maven, you just have time. Have you asked a question? No, so we're just over time, but can you give me a quick one?
Yeah, so for this subscription,
Yeah.
you know, that I pay each month, how many different bits of kit do I get?
Yeah, sure. So at the moment, I mentioned that we released kind of our MVP for the last 12 months, which is mainly to focus on figuring out the pain points of the menswear renting industry, which I think we've done. And so right now you pay £45 and you get 4 high-end designer shirts. When we move forward, we'll be working with the brands and they can price their own products. So the products we would recommend a price, which is usually sort of between 15 and 20% of the RRP for a month. And then as you keep it longer, so if you wanted to keep it for 2 months, then obviously that percentage would kind of come down.
Say I like the shirts and actually want to keep them, don't want to get them back. Is that possible?
Yes, so that's kind of something that's quite different from us to a lot of the women's wear providers as well, is we actively say to our customers, if you love this, please don't send it back, because we've actually done our job now and we found the perfect wearer.
Thank you very much. This is fantastic presentations this evening, Ms. Harry from Tidal. I'd like to invite our judges to please take a moment and pop next door for your deliberations. And if I can see you back here in 5 minutes or so with a 3rd, 2nd and 1st place for us, that'd be fantastic. In the meantime, I would like to invite Bob and Mike from Carter to please join me on stage to tell you a little bit more about their platform and how it can help both founders and investors to manage their capitals as they scale. So please. Please, if I can maintain your attention, just 5 more minutes. Thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone. So first and foremost, Entrepreneurs Collective, thanks so much for having us here and being part
Please,
of
if we just have your attention for 5 more minutes. I know you're keen to discuss the pitches you've seen this evening, but events like tonight would not be possible without our partners like Carter. So please, if you could have their attention.
We don't have Rob, but we do have a really great presentation for you all. So first and foremost, my name is Bob. I'm here with Carta. I help lead our go-to-market efforts. Carta UK is formerly known as CapDesk. We did an acquisition in September of 2022. And as part of that acquisition, you might be able to tell from my accent, we did bring some folks from the US to also come join this team. Now we're part of Carta Global. I'm joined here by Michael, who's on our team, and I'll let him introduce himself.
Thanks, Bob. Nice to meet everyone here. As Bob mentioned, I work on the Carta team, primarily working with founders, really, from anywhere from pre-seed to Series A stage. So, we're working with founders on a daily basis to help simplify equity management. And I think in a snapshot, what Carta does is simplifies everything from cap table management to employee stock option plan management. Really what we're trying to do is build everything under the brand umbrella of equity under one simplified roof. I guess to give you an understanding of Carter in a little bit more detail, I know Bob mentioned an acquisition, but really what we're trying to do is make the product a global product. Our North Star for 2024 is to create more equity owners, both from a shareholder perspective, but also from an employee equity perspective. And that goes down to the acquisition. Primarily, Carter was a very US-centric product. I used to work for the CapDesk team before, which was a UK and European leading equity management software. So what we've done is bridge those two products together to build out an ecosystem which supports both venture, private companies, and employees.
Yeah, so as we talk about that ecosystem, so our real goal is to connect everybody from founders to employees, as well as to their law firms and investors. So you can see Carta has thousands of partners globally, including many that maybe look familiar to you here in the UK. And then as part of this too, we're constantly expanding. We work with partners outside of just VCs and law firms, including Entrepreneurs Collective, and building this network is really our prime focus here. And so the startup journey, this probably looks familiar to you all. So this is going to be your journey from early stage ideation all the way to secondary and exits. Everything in the blue that you can see here is where we fit in, specifically starting with SEIS. And so for all of you in the room that are actively pursuing that, it's the perfect time to chat with us. And then as you grow, anything equity related is something that we'll be able to support.
Yeah, sorry, we've set up this presentation badly and haven't followed this Sequoia model, but here's the 4 problems we solve for in summary. What is a cap table, how to manage it, when to set it up, and how to consistently manage that as you continue to raise funds. A lot of people are still using Excel and it's 2024. So that's our primary focus, is how to make the cap table more accessible for the founders, for the investors, and for everyone related to the cap table. The second piece is retaining and motivating employees. Biggest part of this is setting up share option schemes. For those of you that are aware, there's a scheme in the UK called an EMI scheme, which is a tax beneficial scheme for UK-based employees. We help companies set that up. The third and I guess tied to the 4th piece is remaining compliant. There's a lot of filings you have to do in relation to the cap table, but also to employee equity. Systematically, companies have used accountants or lawyers, and I'm sorry if there's any in the room, but you know, historically they have been very expensive. So what we're trying to do is bridge that gap with Carta. In a snapshot, this is what we do. You can see some of the interface here, but really a lot of the stuff I've already touched on. In summary, it's digital cap table management, in-house valuations in relation to employee equity schemes, companies' house filings, HMRC filings, and then full management of any type of equity incentive scheme that you decide to set up. I think we forgot to mention at the start, but have your phones ready. If this resonates with any of you, we'd love to talk. You can scan this QR code and speak to one of our sales team members. But yeah, I guess thank you very much for your attention, and nice to meet you all.
Thank you very much, Jax. I was hoping to have a couple of ambassadors from the Entrepreneurs Collective join me on stage this evening, but it doesn't look like they have made it. Earlier on, I spoke about a couple of series that we're running. We recently had our inaugural of this year, Black African founder panel. We had some fantastic VCs there from the African Diaspora Investment Network. We had Andrew Davis from 10 by 10, and a legendary angel investor, Tony Davis, joined us on an investment panel there. And we have coming up on the 19th of March, our first female founder series. So again, it's an investment panel. We have Alma's Angel representative, from Queen's Park Equity, and Kim Antonio, one of our angels as well. Now, these are a couple of communities that we've noticed are heavily underrepresented in the tech startup world, the ecosystem. And I think respectively, each of them receives less than 10% of investment funding But it actually has consistently proved that at exit, they do better than the sort of, well, what can I say, the traditional middle-aged white male founder. So these are a couple of communities that we do shine a light on. And if that resonates with you, please do check out our Eventbrite to follow this particular series. We have our judges back in the room. So I'm going to head over here now for the most exciting part of the evening. In third place.
Well, first of all, thank you all. So different. And we had to go rushing through deciding it was a real test. But in third place, we have Jumble. And we really are matchmaking because in second place, we've got Ghast. Now, winner tonight is Tucker.
Thank you very much, everyone. If we could just now have our photographer, first of all. Our judges to join us on the stage, and then we're going to have all of our families up after that. One final round. This is what you've got to work with, Hugh, I'm afraid. I'll stay on here, and I don't know what's cool. If all of our pictures have all been fantastic, I could come up just on stage for one final photo. Thank you, Brent. Yeah, please.
That's a great idea.
Thank you. And a big thank you to all of you for joining us tonight in the audience. Please, like I said, make the most of the networking, enjoy the time of rum, and enjoy homegrown hospitality for the rest of the evening. Thank you very much. Good night.